Living on Vashon is just, it's fantastic. I couldn't think of a better place to live. The community here has always been really supportive.
So Vashon's always attracted this quirky group of people who maybe don't have the almighty dollar as the most important thing in their lives. They're musicians, they're artists, they're volunteers, they're working at the food bank. Do we want to keep those people on Vashon? Because if we do, we have to provide affordable housing for them.
I feel like we need more workforce housing on this island too that hits those people who are sort of just at median income for Washington and for King County.
I am worried. I am worried that I don't know the long-term sustainability for how to staff at the wages that we can pay with the housing issue on the island.
How can we help facilitate community through our housing projects and our housing, our developments and the ways in which we look to expand housing on the island?
In order to grow any community and to have the community continue and to strengthen and flourish, we have to provide places for people to live and be safe.
Sawbones is a global manufacturer of medical models. We have been on the island for 45 years. Our company has about 170 people here. I think we're the largest employer on the island at this time. The benefit of running the business on Vashon is really about the deep sense of community here. We have multiple generations of families that work here. Housing has increased so much. The cost of housing has increased so much on the island. That's probably the biggest concern I have with the people that I have here already, is that I think their housing is not stable. We have reached a place where I'm beginning to wonder what's next, because if I were to recruit off island, I'm going to struggle with the challenges of keeping the commuters paid well and subsidized and willing to use 3 hours of their day to commute to a wage job that they may be able to find somewhere else.
Affordable housing is nearly the #1 factor when we're thinking about how to attract and retain staff, as well as one of the largest impacts for our students at the high school. Having so few housing options, or having those options so cost prohibitive, can be a major deterrent for folks when they're thinking about accepting positions, or frankly even applying for positions. And so we retain a lot of our staff because of the experience they have working with our students, which may sometimes overcome the challenges they have around housing. But hidden within that turnover is the loss of some pretty remarkable educators, folks who were doing really amazing things with kids and who we just couldn't hold on to.
Basically, there's no apartments on the island, or it was really hard to find apartments. And then if there was something for rent, it was very difficult for something in my price range that was appropriate for one person living by themselves on a teacher's salary.
It's one thing if a teacher leaves because they have ambitions to do something else, or because there's another cool opportunity. We always celebrate that. But when they leave because they can't afford to live here anymore, because they can't find a house to live in, that's really hard.
If a teacher lives here, they invest in this community in a different way than if they're commuting. And they stay longer, and children certainly benefit from teachers staying in the community. When we first started looking to buy a house on Vashon, we looked for something like 3 months and there was just nothing. We kind of gave up. My mom came to visit and she said, let's just go back over to Vashon. Let's just see if there's anything. And we drove through this community, and I felt like, oh, this is a place I would love to live, but I knew that it was affordable housing and it would be maybe forever until something came on the market. and then something came on the market and we came right over, we put an offer in, and it was something we could afford. And we wanted the kids to know their neighbors and to walk to the movie theater, or walk to the grocery store, or ride their bikes. And all of those things have proven to be just perfectly true for us.
For us at Vashon HouseHold, the organization came into being in 1997. This was a model in which we could kind of create a community, single-family homes together, shared spaces, shared little community, but be able to house all these special populations that we really haven't been able to do before. We have 76 units total, and of that, we have about 125 people that are being served there in terms of families, individuals, children. This isn't the King County Housing Authority running things. This is, local people who live here on the island, who are the property managers, the maintenance people, and are again providing a lot of significant housing for people who have lived on the island and been on the island a long time.
We had no idea what owning a business on Vashon would feel like, or any of the challenges that we would come across. All we knew was that we had the opportunity to get our dream going, and it was going to be on Vashon. We tried for a long time to start a restaurant in Seattle, and we were getting priced out constantly. So many amazing things came out of us doing what we were doing on this island, and it felt really right. It felt like the island embraced us immediately.
When I grew up in the South, that's what we always felt is a community. You grew up in a community that everybody cared about each other. Yeah. No matter who you were or where you grew up, everybody cared about each other, genuinely cared about you, your well-being, right? Yeah. And so I think that's what I feel out here for sure, is that people care about us and we care about people, and we haven't had that in so long, so it feels really great.
Staffing has been the most challenging aspect of being a business owner on this island. We can't find staff because they can't find anywhere to live. We can't hold on to staff because they're commuting and they realize it's too hard. We were trying to court people that were in our restaurant world from Seattle to come out here, provide this great opportunity for them. The only component, the missing piece of the puzzle, was that we had nowhere for anybody to find housing and to live.
I'm currently a real estate agent on the island, so I see what's happening to housing on Vashon very up close and personal. I see people who have to sell their houses, and I see people coming in with no concern for how much housing costs. I'm very passionate about keeping Vashon affordable for the people that make this community diverse. There are a lot of people who are getting marginalized on Vashon, who work as checkers at Thriftway or who work as teachers. Those should be good jobs. Those should be jobs that can allow you to become a homeowner. And they just aren't on the island. Between 2012 and 2017, prices went up more than 50%. In the last year, prices on Vashon have gone up over 13%. And the wages are not keeping up with that. Many minimum wage jobs are, they're jobs that require people to show up and do a good job and bring their brains and their heart and work hard, and they can't afford a home.
When we think about the impact of affordable housing for our students, the situation becomes much more heartbreaking. We're talking at that point around families living in trailers, students living without running water or reliable electricity, let alone internet. And then there's a certain population of our students who literally are couch surfing house to house because they do not have places to live. They're putting all of their available energy into just trying to appear normal, and so there's not a lot of available energy left for grades and for critical thinking and for output during the school day. One of the ways in which I think about affordable housing as it relates to students is students who are formally designated as homeless. And homeless in the school setting really means any student living without a reliable place to lay their head or with non-custodial parents. In that regard, we have literally dozens of students at the high school who are homeless. How can we help struggling students have a reliable place to live, and how can we create better community experiences for the people living together?
Yeah, so I got here in '76. I like to think I washed up on the shore. Sometimes I was homeless. There were times I would camp out in the woods, and then other times I'd find something, a trailer or something to live in, whatever I could find to live in. Then I went on disability, and I was renting a room for a while, and my health was really bad, and I really needed my own place. And then I applied, and I got accepted into Mukai, and I finally had my own place. It has given me, a home. Yeah, I am a huge advocate of public housing. The whole life of the community is really enriched by that. Being able to have housing I've been able to regain my health.
So we had lived here for maybe 6 months, and a board member from Vashon HouseHold approached me and said, would I like to be on the board? And immediately I said yes, because of the amazing gratitude that I feel to the organization for bringing our family here. I wanted to give back to the community, so I joined the board, and I've been on the board for 5 years now. And they just do amazing, amazing work. I know there are long waiting lists for affordable housing on Vashon. Maybe we can clear those lists down to a manageable level and house people that maybe a home isn't what they need. Maybe they can't afford to buy something in a land trust, but they need a place to shelter in the storm and to hopefully create community too. This could be a wonderful opportunity.
So in terms of how people can help us and support our mission and help house islanders, of course we always need money.
You can drive around the island and see the communities and see the people who are living in these communities and who wouldn't be able to afford to live on this island if we didn't have Vashon HouseHold. So if you don't have money to donate, one thing you can do is be supportive of affordable housing on the island. And you can understand that all kinds of people live in affordable housing, like me and my family. And we all need a place to live, and we all need to be able to afford it.
I think the more hands-on the help is, the more people get invested in what we're doing and see how beautiful it is.
Community means a collective responsibility to me to create a place where everybody can thrive. From where I come from as an educator and having worked with people of all different wages for many, many years, I want to grow that diversity and grow that rich layer of community here on the island. I'm so encouraged by the housing projects that might be happening. I'm completely convinced that that's going to be a very rich resource for my people here.
Community means everything. We feel cared for, and we can give it back. Like anywhere in the world and anywhere in this country, we have got to provide affordable housing for people that make normal amounts of money. We're not paying attention to the people that are lower middle income anymore, and that's not okay. And that's all of us. That's the category that we fall in.
In a world where we didn't have Vashon HouseHold on this island, it would significantly change the character of our island. Community, to me, means paying attention to each other and making sure that we have what we need.
How can we be comfortable in our own homes at night? when we know that there are people sleeping in the woods, that they're really not that different than us. And even if they are, they deserve shelter. We cannot do that without the support of the community. And we can't be a community if we're not taking care of our community members.